The question of whether it's legal to sell something for more than it's worth touches the very heart of capitalism and conjures up an intriguing blend of ethics, economics, and law. When we begin to peel back the layers of this query, we discover a complex interplay of consumer psychology, market dynamics, and philosophical debates about value and worth. As we delve into this topic, you'll find that what appears straightforward on the surface is fraught with intriguing subtleties and larger implications about how markets function and how value is perceived and established. To unpack this question, we first need to clarify what we mean by worth. In everyday language, worth often implies intrinsic value, some objective measure that everyone agrees upon. However, in economic terms, worth is far more subjective, determined by what someone is willing to pay for an item, rather than any inherent property of the item itself. This subjective valuation is the cornerstone of market economics, which asserts that the value of a good is whatever price it can fetch in the market. Let's consider a scenario where a sneaker brand releases a limited edition model priced significantly higher than their regular line. The materials and production costs might be similar, but the limited edition could sell for multiples of the regular price. Here, the worth is not just in the physical sneaker, but in the perceived exclusivity, brand value, and social status it confers. Is selling it at a high price illegal? Generally, the answer is no. This is a clear example of how consumer perception can elevate the worth of a product beyond its material cost, and the legality of such pricing strategies is typically upheld in free markets. However, while selling goods at a price above their intrinsic or material value is usually legal, there are scenarios where this practice can veer into illegal territory. This typically involves elements of deception, manipulation, or exploitation, especially in cases lacking fair market conditions or where there is an imbalance of power or information between buyer and seller. One clear example of this is price gouging, which often becomes a topic of legal scrutiny during emergencies such as natural disasters. In these situations, sellers may dramatically increase the prices of goods like water, gasoline, or shelter, exploiting the urgent needs of consumers who may have no alternatives. Many jurisdictions have laws against such behavior, recognizing that the ethics of exploiting basic human needs for profit can warrant legal intervention to protect vulnerable consumers. Another aspect to consider is the role of false advertising or deceptive marketing practices. If a product is marketed with the claim that it possesses qualities or attributes it does not have, thereby inflating its perceived worth, this can constitute fraud. Here, the legal system steps in to ensure that misinformation is not used to inflate an item's worth artificially. In addition to legal and ethical considerations, there's a fascinating psychological component to how items are priced. Retailers and marketers often use strategies like prestige pricing or artificial scarcity to create a perception of higher worth. Prestige pricing involves setting a high price to signal quality or luxury, tapping into the consumer's psychology that equates higher cost with higher value. Artificial scarcity, on the other hand, involves limiting the supply of a product deliberately to increase its perceived value and demand. This conversation about pricing above worth also begs a deeper philosophical question. What is fair value, and who decides it? In a purely capitalist system, the market is supposed to be the ultimate arbiter of value. Consumers vote with their wallets, and over time, the market adjusts itself. If a product is consistently priced higher than consumers are willing to pay, it will either have to be repriced or discontinued. But this ideal scenario presumes a level of market efficiency and consumer rationality that doesn't always hold true in reality. Thus, when examining if it's legal to sell something for more than it's worth, we must consider a mosaic of factors, including market conditions, consumer behavior, legal frameworks, and ethical considerations. While fundamentally, in a free market, sellers are often free to set prices as they see fit, this freedom is not absolute. It is bounded by laws designed to protect consumers from unfair practices and by the broader ethical implications of exploiting consumer trust or need. In conclusion, the legality of selling something for more than its worth hinges not only on the dynamics of supply and demand, but also on the ethical and legal frameworks that govern market behavior. This ensures that while entrepreneurs can thrive by creating genuine value, consumers are also protected from practices that could harm them financially or exploit their necessities. This balance is vital for the healthy functioning of any economy, safeguarding both the spirit of enterprise and consumer welfare.